What's up guys, it is Lily May and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I am so excited for today's video. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. This video may be a little bit shorter, but that is just because I feel like this video is so important to put out there, and it is something that I've been asked by a lot of my viewers, a lot of my people that I'm following, a lot of people just in my direct messages or in conversation or in comments on my posts, just asking for Christian resources. Like, where did you hear that bit of information? What podcasts do you listen to? What worship playlists are you currently listening to? What books do you read that help you grow your faith? So all things like that. And so in today's video, I am going to be going through all of the Christian resources that I love. By all means, this is not all of them. This is just, I've really narrowed it down to a few things. First of all, the reason why I've narrowed it down is because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with a bunch of things. Second of all, we will probably be here for like 3 weeks if I gave you every single resource that I have. And I want to start like bits at a time. So I picked up some of my favorites and I've written them down. I have some here with me and I am so excited to get straight into this. And I hope that this answers all your guys' questions for just people that I listen to and wanting to grow in your faith. I really hope that all of these resources I give you, from podcasts to music to like books, that it all just really, really helps you grow in your faith and your journey with the Lord. I'm so excited for this video and let's just get straight on into it. Okay, so the first thing I kind of want to go through is the books. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like reading Christian books when I was growing up, at least, can be very boring. So when I was like, I'd say probably the age of like 10, maybe to 12, I read these books by a lady called Natalie Grant. She wrote these books about her children. So she has 3 girls and she wrote them as characters in these fictional books, and in each of those books were about real life experiences and things that they went on and that they did. Some of them, I don't know if they were like real life experiences, but others were. So she wrote all of these things into books, and in these books, it talks about messages for teenage, like preteen girls, about friendship, about finding Jesus for yourself, about how to love Jesus, but all done in a story way. And it is called the Glimmer Girls series. I remember this was my favorite book series from when I was like 10 to like maybe 13, and I'll insert a picture of them here on the screen. I highly recommend these books. If you are a mum watching this, I highly recommend your preteen girls reading these books. Even if your girls are like 10 and you're reading it to them, like, seriously, read these books. My mum read some of them with me as well. Like, they are just so, so good. I highly recommend getting your hands on these books. They definitely impacted my faith a lot, and were the first like Christian books that I actually read. Okay, another book that I've mentioned all the time on my social media, so I'm not going to talk too much about this, is Redeeming Love by Francie Rivers. Oh my gosh, you guys know how I feel about this book already. Like, it literally changed my life. I do not recommend this book below the age of 16. I repeat, I do not recommend this book below the age of 16, purely just because it deals with a lot of mature themes, a lot of heavy, like, just the things that this girl walks through. It's pretty heavy and it's pretty deep. It's powerful and it's so important to read, and it's so going to change your life, but it can be pretty heavy for anyone below the age of 16. So I definitely recommend this book though. It just changed my perspective on love and Jesus's love, and it just truly just changed me. And I recommend this book to all my friends. I always say, read this book. Like, it seriously is so, so amazing. And I know that Francie Rivers has actually a lot of other books. I can't personally recommend them because I've never read them, so I can't give my opinion on them, but I really do plan to read more of them. I really want to read more of her books because I love how she incorporates the biblical passages in the Bible and biblical messages, but makes them fiction. The story's fiction, at least, not the messages, because the messages are real. But the story's fiction for us to enjoy like a normal book while also being impacted and learn so much. And I recommend this author. I love her so much. Definitely recommend. Okay, let's get into some more books. So I got these 2 books for my birthday and they are amazing, so I'm going to suggest them to you guys. So this is by Jen Wilkin and it is called None Like Him. So it is talking about different ways that God, 10 different ways, that God is different from us. And it's why it's a good thing. It's a good thing that God is different, right? And these are 10 ways in this book that God is different. We are not, and that's a good thing. Like, we're not God, and that's a good thing. We're not perfect, and that's a good thing. But God is perfect, and that, and that is the most amazing thing. How amazing that we are under a God and loved by a God who is so perfect and so beautiful and so gracious and so giving and so forgiving, that he loves us so much, even though we mess up so many times. And so it really just talks about how we can come face to face with God and how we can, you know, see that his glory is limitless and how we can just, there is literally no one like him. And this book so far, I'm on page 20 because I'm like taking it day by day and I'm like actually like intersecting each thing. And so far I'm loving it and I'll keep you guys updated on this book. I'm thinking once I finish reading it, I'll do like a whole review on it too. But I highly recommend. And if you guys want to get this book, we can buddy read. We can buddy read it. Okay. The next book I want to talk about is a devotional. I have a few other devotionals I kind of want to go through that I loved reading growing up. But this one right now is so good. So this is the author Jackie Hill Perry. I love this book. So it is a 60-day devotional and it's called Upon Waking. And basically, there is nothing in your hands, this is what the blurb says, there is nothing in your hands that God won't replace with more of himself. So let it go, let it fly, let it burn. God is better anyway. So it takes you through a journey on basically 60 days on things that we need to let go of and realize that God is better in. I am loving this book. It has changed my life. I'm reading it every single morning. And I'm not even lying when I say this, that every single morning when I read the devotional it is what I'm going through and what I need to hear in that exact moment. So Wednesday night, I had a really like just big spiraling head moment. I was overthinking everything. I was in my thoughts. I was feeling really overwhelmed. The devotional I read the next morning was about that. And I was like, what? God sees you guys. And in this book, I just truly believe that it is going to just impact you and change your life. And it's all about letting things go. And how good is it to let things go, right? Growing up, I used to love this one. I'll insert on the screen. It's called His Princess. And basically, I recommend giving this to your daughters, or even if you're like any age, to be honest, but highly recommend it for daughters like of any age. And you can read this with them before bed. And it is the most powerful, most special things. And basically, it is letters from God written to his daughter. So he goes, "Dear daughter," and it's like a letter from God to us as his daughters. And it is just so powerful. And then I also really recommend the Bethany Hamilton Soul Surfer one. Me and my sister loved this one growing up. Really good devotional. If you guys don't know Bethany Hamilton, there is a movie about her called Soul Surfer. Basically, she was an amazing surfer, loved surfing, was her whole life. And like, I'm talking next level good. And she got her arm bitten off by a shark in a shark attack. And basically, it was her whole journey of trying to navigate, well, this is the one thing in life I loved so much. How can I now do that? And so she felt completely lost, completely like alone and broken. And it's how she turned to God during that time and how she came to know God more, because her family was Christian, but how she really like just put it all down and gave it to God. And he saw the desires of her heart and the need there, and he blessed her, and she ended up being like a pro surfer with her one arm. And like in the movie, like she goes on mission trips, like all those things that she encounters in the movie and in her story that she shares, she wouldn't have encountered if she didn't go through that. So I highly recommend her. She is an amazing woman of God, and her book was incredible. Her devotional book, really recommend. I'm going to talk about, that's it for books, but I'm going to talk about my Bible. So I actually get a lot of people asking me what Bible I use, what version I have. This is my big chunky Bible. I love her so much. This is like literally my prized possession. Like I love this so much. Like if our house is burning down, this is the first thing I'm grabbing and saving, because as you guys can see, there are so many pages in my Bible that look like this. This Bible has truly impacted me and changed my faith and just saved me. I got it for my, was I 18? My 18th birthday, I think. Yeah. I really wanted a study Bible. And this is the She Reads Truth, and I highly recommend these ones. For study Bibles. This is just the CSB, so the Christian Standard Bible. I personally find that way easier to understand, and it feels more like relatable to now how it's written. But what I love is it has like spaces. This is a clean page on the side for you to write in it, and that's what I really wanted. I've had so many Bibles over the time. I own so many Bibles, and I could recommend so many to you guys, but if you want a study Bible that is really good, I recommend the She Reads. Next, I also get recommendations on journals. So we're kind of talking about like Bibles and journals and things. I personally, so I've used so many journals over the years. I personally do not spend heaps of money on a journal. I love spirals is what I've realized. Personally love spirals. I don't love, like, I'm not a fan of like the spined ones where you have to like open it. I had one, like I've had so many spined ones and I love them so much, and they're in my memory box again because things that have saved me, like it's amazing. But my most recent journal before this one was spiral, and I was like, I don't think I can ever go back to non-spiral. So I have this one at the moment. This one is literally just from the reject shop, and it was like $3, I think, and it's really cute. Spiral, I'm very fussy when it's spiral though, like it has to be spiral, and then this bit has to be like hard, and then it has to have a decent amount of pages in it, because I found that some of them don't have like that many pages. And yeah, I love this journal, and when I'm finished it, I will be getting another spiral one. I literally cannot go back from spiral now. It's so much easier to write with, to either have like this or like this, like just to write. So much easier and just so much nicer, and they don't bend. Definitely recommend spiral notebooks. Okay, now we are moving on to worship artists. Yay. I love like country music, or I love like this. So I have found some artists that are Christian that are like that. So let's talk about it. Okay, first and foremost, I have to mention Elevation Worship and Elevation Rhythm. You guys, every song I basically listen to is Elevation Worship or Elevation Rhythm. I just love their music. I love how authentic their worship songs are. I love how upbeat and fun they are, but also how like soft and beautiful the worship ones are. The words in their songs, and something I love is that a lot of their music comes straight from the scripture, and that's how it should be. If there is any church that I could visit that is on my dream list of churches to go visit in different countries, it is Elevation Church. Yeah, their worship is just insane. Specifically, the 2 albums that I've been loving at the moment is the new one, which is Elevation Rhythm, which is Washed, and so it has like Thank God I'm Free, Amazing, Takeover. That album, and can I just say, that album came out literally like I think 2 weeks after I stopped listening to secular music. Maybe 3. 2 or 3 weeks after I stopped listening to secular music. And I was like, this was right on time. And like when I tell you, that is basically all I listen to. Like, I'm not even lying. So the When Wind Meets Fire album. Oh my gosh. Love this album so much. The honorable mentions for Elevation, but anything Elevation, like even their old stuff, so good, so powerful. All right, next is Josiah Queen. So a lot of people don't know this about me, but I am a massive country music fan and like folk music fan. Love it so much. And Josiah Queen is very much like that. Like he's got banjos in it. He's got like all mainly guitar. His music is so good and so like just vibey. If you're driving in your car, like listening to it, like it's so fun and it makes you feel joyful and alive, but the words are good. It's really just feel good music. I love it so much. And it's specifically like folk and country kind of style. I recommend him. Like seriously, his music is so good. And it is just so powerful. Every song, I'm like, whoa. Like there is one song in particular, I Am Barabbas, has me sobbing every time I listen to it. obviously Forrest Frank, you guys. Again, he gives such pop music vibes that glorify God. The things Forrest Frank is doing right now is insane. Like, he is touching so many lives. I really recommend his music. You can really feel the authenticity in his songs as well of how much he loves Jesus. And just how much it is Jesus and not about him. It's about Jesus. And I love that so much. Okay. Next one I've recently found is Zoe Music. And I personally also really like house music vibes. And Zoe Music is all Christian house music vibes. It's like groovy, it's fun. So Zoe Music, recommend them. House fires. I specifically use house fires for my quiet time with the Lord in mornings and evenings. I love house fires. They're spontaneous stuff as well. Like, it's almost like soaking music. Like, you really feel the presence of God in their songs, and it's really just, the way that they do it is so just peaceful and relaxing and beautiful. I'm gonna put my Spotify account in the description below if you guys want to go and see it and look at the playlists. I believe that they're all public that I have. So I have a worship one, I have a Christian vibey one, and then I have a secret like place one, which is my quiet time of God. So if you guys want to listen to any of these artists or any of the music there, like, I definitely recommend going and checking that out, and then you can have access to those playlists as you please. Okay, now we're moving on to podcasters. This is like my last kind of section of resources, and then I do want to mention one more thing at the end. But let's go through some podcasters that I love listening to. So the podcasts that I want to mention that I love listening to, or just the people that I love listening to preach, it's not specifically a podcast. I love listening to their sermons on YouTube as well. So podcaster Bryce Crawford. Oh my goodness, me and my siblings even, like, and my mum and dad, like, we love Bryce. Oh my goodness, the things he does and the things he like talks about are so amazing. That man has an anointing from the Lord on his life, and I recommend listening to his stuff. He actually goes into like worldly places, talks about Jesus, has conversations with a Catholic pastor, has conversations with different controversial people that you wouldn't expect Christians to be doing. You can learn so much from him, like how he does those conversations, how he talks about Jesus, how he promotes Jesus. Like, honestly, I highly recommend listening to Bryce Crawford, especially if you are a teenager experiencing in your schools, like, oh, no one around me is a Christian. How can I talk about Jesus? Watch Bryce and see how he does it. It's really good, and it's really just easy to follow. He's amazing. Yeah, my brothers actually got me into Bryce Crawford. So they showed me a video and I was like, oh my goodness. And so we love him. He's amazing. Another one I love listening to, I see a lot of his shorts pop up on my Instagram, and I actually like sometimes watch his sermons on YouTube. So that's how I found him though, was it just a reel on Instagram. His name is Bobby Chandler, and he's from a church called Authentic Church. I really love how he preaches, and his preaching style about Bobby is he's a teacher preacher. So he'll teach you while he's preaching, I guess. And yeah, no, what he has to talk about and what he says is really amazing. I haven't listened to a lot of his sermons, but I saw him pop up on Instagram and on like a reel, and I was like, oh wow, he's so cool. That really impacted my life, like what he talked about. And then I actually went and like looked further into him, and I've watched a couple of his sermons. So I just thought I'd mention him as well. If you're looking just for more sermons to listen to, I love his sermons. They're really good. I also want to mention my own pastor from my church. My own pastors, Marty and Karen Manuel. Love them to pieces. They are just amazing. The Lord just moves so beautifully through them, and what they have to share is so powerful. And honestly, like, the two of them have, like, what they've shared and their messages have saved me from some of like the biggest things in my life, and have really just helped me grow and become a Christian, and honestly shaped who I am today. Like, Harvest Church, where I go to, that they're the pastors of, like, seriously, that church has changed my life and made me who I am today. Through God, through them, like, just, yeah, amazing. So definitely go listen to their sermons as well. Another one I love is Stephen Furtick. Stephen Furtick has got to be one of my top listened to pastors on YouTube. I love him. Again, he's from Elevation. I love his sermons so much. I just love the style of how he preaches. I love how he gets his points across and how easy he is to understand, how like emotional and vulnerable he is when he's also preaching. Like, it just, every sermon he's preached has impacted me. Everyone I've listened to by him has impacted me in some sort of way. And he's honestly my go-to when I'm like facing something. I'm like, okay, sermon on so say I did sermon on faith over fear, Stephen Furtick. There's like heaps, and I listen to it and it just impacts me so much. So he's also from Elevation, and that is another reason why I'd love to go visit that church, is because I just love how he preaches and I love his sermons. I also love listening to his wife, Holly Furtick, and following her on Instagram. The things that she posts are just super encouraging and inspirational as well. She also has like some YouTube videos as well. I just think that she's super inspirational and such a strong, God-fearing woman. I love her a lot. Now, I'm getting into more like controversial things, because I love watching things that challenge me, challenge other people's faith, challenge non-Christians. I love watching debates. I love watching, controversial topics being discussed. And that is Andrew Sedra. You guys, the way he talks about controversial topics that not many people talk about so freely, with such an authority on his life given to him by God. Like, seriously, he has confidence beyond, he has boldness beyond, he has courage beyond, and I truly believe that that is a gift from God. It is a God-given gift. So him and his wife, Nolene Sedra and Andrew Sedra, they are very, very, very controversial. So if you're looking for controversial topics being discussed, like, they have no fear in what they share. I highly recommend. The last two I have is Banning Leapshire from Jesus Culture Church. Oh my goodness, my family love Banning. We've grown up listening to him in our family, just in the car, on the speaker in our house. Like, literally love him so much, and he's still one of our family favorites to this day. Powerful man of God. His sermons are amazing. So Banning Leapshire from Jesus Culture Church, and he is probably the first like podcast like I really actually started listening to, like the first person that mum would put on that I was like actually invested in listening to. Because when I was younger, I was like, oh, that's just on in the background. Whereas when she put him on for the first time, I was like, oh, I actually love this and I'm actually listening to it. Like, yeah, really good. And then the last one I want to mention is, if you're a young adult or even just an adult, like The Porch is a young adult church, and the messages that the pastors do there are amazing. Very, very relevant to what young adults face today. So The Porch, definitely recommend their podcast as well. Okay, that is the last section I had to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!